Hi my friends, this is Lada from Astrolada.com with your May 2018 weekly horoscope from the 13th till the 20th of May approximately. But this week is changing the world. This week a new era of human history begins. This is a pivotal time. This is a great time to be born, and I'm gonna walk you through it. This video is not just for this week. This video is for the next 7 years because Uranus is moving a sign. So this, especially the week when the planet, one of the outer ones, the gods of change, Uranus, Pluto, they change a sign. This is when world changes happen, and you'll see them around the world around this week. But the repercussions will be for 6-7 years. And before I start to present you the astrological climate, I want to remind you that on the 27th of May, we're starting a foundational course with me about the 12 houses and house rulers, planets in houses. This is foundational. You might never know no astrology. You can join the course, and it's only $200. It's $50 off if you join till the 27th of May and come and learn with us. You can join a bit later as well, no problem. All the classes are recorded. You don't have to attend them live, and you can send me questions and work with me as your personal tutor. So yeah, very excited about that. Last year's foundational course was fantastic. 150 people attended, and most of them are coming on this year as well. And I give personal attention to everyone if you email me. Anyway, let's go through this week, guys. I've been waiting for that. I've been so excited to talk to you about it. Uranus is changing signs, and when an outer planet changes signs within that week, the whole earth will respond to that. Taurus is an earth sign. It rules the earth beneath us. Uranus is the planet of chaos. Uranus is the sign of crazy the planet of crazy weather patterns as well. So what you can expect is even some big shakeups, volcanoes erupting. Uranus is like a bomb exploding, it rules lightnings and bombs and explosions, and maybe volcanoes. It's already started with Hawaiian volcano exploding, but there can be some powerful earthquakes around the time of Uranus entering Taurus. There can be powerful lightning storms around the world, and watch out, where are those things happening? Those lightning storms, these crazy weather patterns the next week, those maybe explosions and eruptions from the or earthquakes of some sort. Uranus shakes things up. Watch out which parts of the world it's happening, because it's like a messenger to us. It's like a sign where the big changes in the next 7 years will be happening in those countries, in the areas where those people live, in those cities. Where the big changes will be happening. There will be some crazy weather, some storms, lightnings, and all those things, and you'll know it. And actually, Uranus enters Taurus on the 15th of May, so I would give it the whole week. Watch out for maybe on the 14th, 15th, 16th is the most intense, but the whole week. Now this week is going to show us the universe, the gods will show us where exactly the big changes will be happening. But let me tell you what to expect overall, the whole world, when Uranus enters Taurus. Let's start a little bit with Uranus being in Aries for the last 7 years. Uranus makes something jump high. Uranus is this planet that can rise you suddenly and crash you down suddenly. Well, Aries rules the military, Aries rules, and Uranus is the planet of inventions. I bet if we were taught what military inventions were done in the last 7 years, we'll be flabbergasted. Maybe they're not out there for humans to know, for the main circle, but also investments connected to military companies like to security companies of any sort, which is again Aries energy, or to war companies that are responsible, that are basically hired for war purposes. These went through the roof. Their markets, shares and the stock in the last 7 years went so high because Uranus was in the military sign Aries. Plus Aries rules me, the self, the image that you project to others. Me, narcissism rose crazy in the last 7 years, especially through the rise of social media, like as Uranus rules social media, like Facebook and Instagram. It was about people, one person being followed by others. It's about putting your pictures out there, me, selfie stick, you look at me, my face, you know. Aries rules all those things, the self, you know, and but also it brought some beautiful things like a lot of startups. Aries is new beginnings, new businesses, and people starting to become independent, wanting. Aries is independence. Uranus is independence as well. Aries is about me being independent from the whole system. So a lot of people went into private businesses. That's why so many startups, investment in startups went through the roof as well. And people starting to reinvent themselves in a powerful way. But let's see what's going to happen when Uranus enters Taurus. Let's look back in the last 3 times that Uranus entered Taurus, which happens once every 84 years only, guys. Well, in the 18th century, that was when Britain imposed taxes on the colonies in America. And because Taurus is the sign of money, value, and Uranus is the planet of rebellions. And people will be rising, people will be rebelling, want to be freed in regards to money. People will realize how restricted they were in regards to finances, how unfair things were in regards to finances, just like it happened in the 18th century when, as I said, the first time when Uranus entered Taurus. Then this was when Britain imposed taxes, very high taxes on the USA colonies, and they rose and they started rebelling against that. They got like whole masses of people, Uranus rules that, rising against the oppressor, financial oppressor, which was the Great Britain back then. And this led to the American independence because of financial reasons. Nothing unites people like financial oppression, let me tell you. You know, so this was the Uranus in Taurus in the 18th century was the foreshadow, was the prelude to the American independence, because people started rising because of those impossible taxes. Then in the 19th century, the gold rush happened when Uranus entered into Taurus. So total transformation of money, of resources. People went crazy. Uranus is craziness, explosion, sudden explosion, and Taurus is money, anything of value. You know, so people started migrating from all over the world into the States, so they can basically participate in this gold rush and they can become independent again. They were in certain financial states, and this dream of making it big and becoming rich, you know, which is Taurus, is money, suddenly Uranus became a reality for many of them. So they escaped, so they immigrated here. Of course, not everyone benefited from the gold rush, but that changed the economy again of the whole world. And then the last time this happened, Uranus in Taurus, was in 1930 something. This is when the rise of Hitler came. But why did it come? Because people were unfairly oppressed. Basically, they had very big sanctions there in Germany. It was post-depression time. Their money devalued so much that they could cover the walls like wallpaper with money. You would need to bring a cart of banknotes, a whole cart, in order to buy a piece of bread. So the full money devalued, and Hitler took advantage of that and promised people that he would rid them of the big banks, that he would rid them by the big banks rules by the Jews, you know. I'm not, you know, so this is what united them, and it became racial and everything else. But the initial reason for the Second World War, which started while Uranus was in Taurus, was because they decided to reclaim financially, you know, the Germans decided to reclaim financially what is theirs, because they've been oppressed before that. And throughout the world, money was substituted with coupons, because something happened, you know, the economy, currencies devalued, and people started using coupons instead of money, and exchange system as well. So tremendous changes, incredible changes financially happens. The whole monetary system is going to change in the next 7 years, guys, and this starts from this week. Look out for signs for that. The currencies will be changed. Everyone's been telling you that. Very likely crypto or electronic currencies will substitute all the normal money systems right now. But the biggest thing that I'm most hopeful for is that Uranus awakens you to what you're a slave to, what awakens you to realize how restricted you've been in certain areas. You don't feel it till then. Maybe it's a burden, maybe it's a heavy thing, but when Uranus enters Taurus collectively on a massive level, everywhere in the world, people will start feeling, and Uranus makes you rebel. And people start feeling, oh my God, I feel so restricted financially. The taxes are too high, or my debts are too high, or property is too high. It's impossible to live like that. They would awaken. Uranus is divine truth that hits you like a lightning. In occult astrology, it rules the divine truth that cannot be hidden, that rises, and that basically rises people to go on a march to change the system. And now the monetary system will be changed, and all restrictions from governments, the governments will be trying to put restrictions with finances, but all those new ways of exchanging goods, of bargaining, of trading, of making money will appear, which can even avoid taxes in some way, which can even liberate people from taxes. You know, last time Uranus went into Taurus, actually another big revolution happened financially, because for the first time Social Security was introduced. So till then people didn't have pensions, if you were disabled, no, the government wouldn't take care of you. Uranus went into Taurus, a big revolution, Uranus in resources and support for the masses, Taurus, you know. So something like that will happen. The pensions will change by 2026. Some might basically the whole system of how we support the needy, those in needs, the pensions, you know, the whole how money is distributed will change in a crazy way, in a powerful way. People will awaken to the truth of their slavery to big corporations, or to taxes, or to monetary restrictions. And because also this week Mars is going into Aquarius, and Aquarius, Mars is anger. Mars is rising as well. Mars is like showing anger, and Aquarius is the people, the masses, the hoi polloi, all of us like you and me, you know. And Mars will become retrograde towards the end of June. We'll stay there in July as well. And basically the whole period of, most of the period of Mars retrograde in 2018 will happen in Aquarius, squaring Uranus in Taurus. So the people, Aquarius here, I wanted to show you. The people is Aquarius. Mars is anger. Retrograde means that Mars is closest to Earth, so this anger can no longer be contained. This anger of the masses in regards to Taurus, because Mars will be making throughout the whole retrograde period this year square to Uranus. Uranus in Taurus. So and you see, Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So the people are thinking about money, about the monetary systems. There is a revolution happening because of financial injustices. Maybe a lot of scandals will come up about how corrupt the financial system is up in the higher levels, how we're duped basically here, how, you know, this trickle-down economy is not working, how all the money is basically in the hands of a few families. And people will awaken to that. Many people awaken to that. Those of you who are watching this channel, you probably know it. You're Uranian people. You're ahead of your time. You're awake to those things. But the masses, they're kind of blind. But now a massive awakening, a massive scale will happen, that people will realize how unfair the monetary system is, how unfair the taxation system is, how unfair the value system is, the bank system and everything like that. You know, so people will be rising with Mars entering already from next week. I believe something will start happening because Mars enters Aquarius, but especially when Mars gears up to become retrograde from the end of June. And it's the whole June, July, August, these 3 months for me is when revolutions will be happening. People rising, masses, people unhappy. Mars is so close to Earth. The anger and the wrath of the people, Aquarius, will be heard. And it will directly affect the financial system. There can be big collapses of big corporations or financial systems. There can be changes of money systems in some way, already starting from this summer. But on a personal level, this will happen in your personal life as well. Next week, Uranus is squared by Mars, and Uranus moves into Taurus, and it's with Mercury. Be careful, because you might want to speak out. Taurus is, Mercury is the planet of communication, and Uranus is the honest truth. It's like the truth that stings you. It hurts so much, and it's so, and it can't be contained. So, and it's, someone will try to speak out, and this can aggravate you. This can create tension and fighting, because they're making the square actually in Capricorn. Mars is still in Capricorn. That happens. So some authority people, or some people that are in power over you, or that have more power over you, can aggravate you, can push your button. So if you're the one in power, someone can challenge you. Uranus and Mercury is the younger people. Someone can challenge you by speaking out and question your authority in some way. But just be careful, because people will be speaking out. They'll not be, it's very volatile. Mercury is with Uranus square Mars. Both a very volatile combination. Mars and Uranus, they cannot be contained. They just speak what they want to say, So people will be brutally honest to the point of hurting you, or you might be the one who is brutally honest to the point of hurting others in some way. But for some of you, might be the time to speak up about something, to speak up and to say what annoys you. But remember, it's not going to be met with, oh, thank you for letting me know, I will make sure I correct my behavior. It will be met with anger from others. It will be met with resistance. It will be met with, I'm not going to turn the other cheek, so, but it's like a culmination, escalation point where you have to speak the truth about something, and when you have to act about something that really annoys you, that really stresses you. So be careful. We'll be more stressed, more irritable this week. We'll be more on the edge. We'll be more willing to take risks, to say things that we might regret later on, but it might be time to say those things. But those of you who are already quite, inclined to be, to spit out things without thinking, they might go over the top now. So be always in the middle, not the extreme, not just bottling up or just going there and shooting the messenger, or basically saying things that you regret later on. Be in the middle, but be prepared that people will be just much more willing to be what they consider honest and truthful, what they consider that they cannot bottle up what they believe is true anymore, which is Uranus Mercury. And this will create angry reactions and rash or very reactions that are very, quick, so to speak. And some crisis situations can happen. But plus Mars, as I said again, it might be someone saying a word to you, someone saying something that pushes you into action, which is much needed for a long time, because Mars enters also in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of changes, and maybe it will push you. Maybe someone speaks up the truth that hurts and is not so pleasant, or tells you something, shows you some problem, and it pushes you to create changes in the next few months when Mars goes retrograde. But watch it. This summer there will be revolutions, maybe already from this week, But let's speak a little bit about Uranus in Taurus still. Taurus is also the body image. Uranus is about truth, and Uranus is about revolution. So there can be revolution in beauty industry, or what we consider beautiful, what we consider maybe body shaming will be shamed now finally. Body shaming, which started powerfully, it's always been around, but especially in the last 7 years with all this Instagram and Facebook, it's become so proliferous. But now there will be revolution in what we consider beautiful. Taurus is that, Uranus is the revolution. And even while I was thinking about that, my husband read a meme from Facebook, and he said there was a little girl, chubby girl, drinking some sugary drink and saying, the beach gonna get whatever body I give it. So I felt like this is so Uranian. I'm gonna rebel, and I'm gonna create the image of beauty whichever I believe is true for me. I'm not going to comply to some rules and beliefs of what is beautiful. I'm going to make my own beauty. I'm going to make so this is what's going to happen. There will be some kind of a beauty industry also revolution, anything about the image of the person and what we consider beautiful, the values of people, the money systems as well. And it's already started. It started already from last year. I think they put this little girl in front of the bull in the American stock market in New York. Stock markets, oh my God, the Wall Street will be, I'm not saying dismantled, but Taurus is money, and this little defiant girl in front of the bull is money, of course, the sign of Taurus. Will be defying we'll be defying the fixed kingdom of the money people, the fixed kingdom of debt, and we're gonna realize how oppressed we are and how enslaved we are financially, and we're gonna rise because of that, whether it's through debt, through college debt, through high prices of property, and actually the true value of things will be revealed. If some currency is super inflated, it's gonna burst, you know, because Uranus is truth. Taurus is the true value, the value of something. If some currency or if some kind of project is overinflated, like, you know, like whether it's the price of housing in many places in the world now, or the price of you know, organic food is overinflated, this will burst, this will change, you know. It will become more accessible to the common people, because common people will rebel against it, or common demand will bring the prices down in some way. Plus, Taurus is about food. There will be a food revolution, there will be food propaganda in big way, people awakening to the need. Many of you already awakened how food regulates, determines moods and, you know, everything, and health, but the general people are slowly starting to awaken to that. Now it will become just everywhere. People, even the people in the slums, in the poorest neighborhood, they'll know that food is, and what you eat is determines your health, determines your moods, determines depression and all diseases, you know. So there'll be food revolution, there will be agricultural revolution as well, there'll be renovation, and I still believe that investing in anything that is Taurus related can give great financial results for you if you do it, because Uranus is about something rising suddenly. So what can rise is like the stock market. In the stock market, anything connected to organic food, to farming, anything connected to the beauty industry as well, Taurus, anything connected to, as you see already, the electronic currencies, they're going crazy overvalued, but as well there will be readjustment of the proper value of those things as well. So exciting week. I hope you're looking forward to it. I love when Uranus shakes up things. How Uranus will affect you personally, though, I speak about in my May videos in each sign. So if you're Taurus ascendant, for example, or Virgo ascendant, go and watch the Virgo May 2018 video. You'll see how it will affect you in your personal life. In this video, I wanted to speak about Uranus in Taurus, how it's going to affect the whole world, and how next week you have to be more careful with Uranus, Mars, Mercury, difficult configuration. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and if you want to know personally how Uranus in Taurus will affect you as well, we have a webinar with April, and we send each one of you a personal report how it's going to affect you, and you watch the video as well, and you see what is affecting you, what transit, what aspect, you know. So it's very personalized webinar you can check out. So thank you so much, guys, and I will see you next week.